Well, it was 4 scores, and well, today we set forth to tell the truth. Well, today's left-wingist propagandist and amateur radio show host is deemed by Colonel Quingdale Bragg. Ladies and gentlemen, Rannie Bond is here.
Yeah.
Also, the conspiracy theorist, well, wait a minute, we still love him. He's a round guy, but we gotta love him. It's Chris Rouen.
All the way from San Francisco.
San Francisco, I left my heart there. And then over in the back corner behind me, hiding because she's wanted by the FBI and 13 different other agencies, it's Cathy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jazzy Jeff. It's a civil war, according to Colonel Quingdale Bragg. Now listen to me. Listen very carefully, Colonel Quingdale, and to the rest of you OCC people. You need to learn to listen. Because when we say things on this radio show, we want to make sure that you get it right when you run and you tell other people that, oh, did you hear they talked about you on the radio show? Oh, my God, Jeff talked about people on the radio show, and it was bad. Well, you need to listen. Because when you start talking like that and you tell things that you're telling, it comes back to bite you in your ass. I said enough. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. It's a black-eyed pea edition of Let's Talk Oconee SC. And now, deep, dark jungles, it's Rannie Bond.
Hey, Jeff, Cathy, Chris, welcome back. You know, this is our 6th show.
6!
Can you believe it? I never thought it would last.
And we have been renewed for another 6.
All right, woo! Well, hey, listen, I got my carpet bag packed, brought down here some black-eyed peas, and, you know, up north we don't eat cornbread, so I got some Italian baguette bread we're going to have with our black-eyed peas during the show.
You amateur radio talk show left propagandist.
I don't even sure how that Quindale came up with that, other than if you're that far to the right, way off of the charts, that anything toward the middle must seem left.
Well, we eat that in San Francisco. We like
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, those baguette things, of course.
I'm glad you're back from your trip. How was it?
That was wonderful. It
Great,
was wonderful.
man. You missed
I
a
listened
lot.
to the show. It was great. I was so excited. I just wish I could have been there.
Well, I tell you what, it was a great show without you. I mean, we got so many people called in.
5,000 people. Hey, get rid of it.
How did you know I was from San Francisco? How did you know?
You can tell by listening to you.
Well, you know, what can I say?
But anyways, I got here early. Jeff was in the parking lot, and he had this thing in his hand. And we're kind of confused as to what it might be.
Did you see that?
It's a giant Sharpie.
Somebody dropped it off out here, I guess.
They put it in the studio. If you'll hand it over here, I want to make sure people can see it up here in the camera. So, this was waiting on me.
Wait a minute. There's something on the back. I have a magnifying glass.
It says Rutro.
Oh, my gosh.
Nah, let me see.
There you go. It's
Hold
all
on,
yours.
hold on.
Can you get fingerprints off of it?
Oh, shit. That's Scooby-Doo.
Jinkies.
Scooby-Doo.
Whoa, Scooby-Doo.
Well, I wonder what it was used for. That's pretty big.
Wow.
You don't think that was what was used on one of whose side?
I don't know.
No, but the DOT cut one up yesterday. And it was great.
Man, I tell you what, the grass is always greener over the septic tank. But really, last week was chock full of stuff. There was a full-blown rebellion in the Republican Party. We came out 16-1 asking for McMahon's resignation. And today, he sent an email saying there's no way that he'll back down. He didn't win the last war. He won't win this one either, but he's not going to quit.
So who's going to follow him? Me, my best self, and I? Is that what he's thinking?
I guess so. I don't know, but he did a lot of name calling and stuff in here. Said he's got some bombshells to drop on the ECS. I don't know what the ECS is.
Executive Committee.
I thought it was CXC because he uses all kinds of initials.
We got a lot of resignations there.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We're not trying to run them off because they're conservative. We're trying to run them off because they don't want to follow the rules. we can't just make up the rules as we go along.
No.
I mean, right here, I've got them right here. The South Carolina Republican Party rules. And I've got the bylaws. I got everything. I even got the OCC manifesto in this thing.
Well,
Are
you
you
know the rules.
you gonna start with 15?
So yeah, you know,
Okay.
we want to talk about. He says we shouldn't run Perry out of his Oconee seat, but it says right here in Rule 15 that any person who holds an elected or appointed primary office must immediately resign from such office upon announcing for federal or statewide office. Now, representative for District 2 is a statewide office.
Right.
We're not asking him to do anything that's not in the rules. We're just asking him to be able to focus on his
Well,
campaign.
did
Well,
you
yeah.
notice he said he asked somebody to write him in for District 1 as well? Did I?
Oh, that's right. He's going to run them both because he said he can do both jobs.
He can do both jobs.
That's right.
So,
that's right. Well, man,
that's two
Right.
as well. So
Well, I mean,
Well,
he's
why
given
doesn't
up
he-
a lot. He's given up his entire career at wherever he works to do this. What's wrong with just following the rules of the party and going ahead and giving up the seat so I don't have to look at it?
well, why don't the rules apply to them? I don't understand that.
Well, they don't either. They don't understand why they have rules. I mean, that's why they're in every controversy in the county surrounds them.
Well, they're confused because they say they're the only conservatives. I don't think they even know what
Well, I
conservative
mean,
means.
Nah,
they
there you
said
go.
that K. Knapp was
They
the
have
only,
no idea what it
was
is.
the only Christian. We talked about this last.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
You know, that's because she's probably the only one that ever talks to him. Because everybody else has got better people to talk to.
Well, the thing I'm confused about is, and I know people don't like to mention their name, but now that Trump's come out full Q, are these guys Qs, you think? I don't know. I'm just asking.
You know,
I mean,
but I want to go back to that in a minute.
Okay.
But I want
All
to
right,
talk
all right.
about Rule 16. No individual who holds a party office or delegate or alternate position may be party to any legal action against the party at any level or against party offices in their official capacity. So if they want to sue the party, they have to immediately vacate said office and remove themselves from the party. So that's paragraph A.
And that's on 16 now?
Rule 16,
Rule
but then-
16, okay.
Rule 16B says that the state executive committee alone may declare unorganized any entity or level of organization created under these rules for repeated failure to abide by these rules. Such declaration shall require a 3/4 vote of the entire membership of the state executive committee, which shall prompt the organization of the affected entity as provided in these rules. So what that says is if we can't get our crap together as a party, I mean, I know that Cathy and you and Chris, you guys are loving this kind of stuff because you're not.
well,
No,
not
well,
really. But from
no,
San
I take-
Francisco,
no, seriously, I take no pleasure in seeing strife. Seriously,
Right.
no, that's
Okay.
Cathy.
Because-
Now, me, myself, I am enjoying every bit of
Well,
it.
he may be.
Hey, what can I say?
Right.
I love it.
Absolutely, I take no pleasure in seeing strife because to me it's representative of the entire county, and to me it's embarrassing because you see us getting attention from Columbia, from other people, and they're looking at this going, "What is this?" It's a bad look.
It reminds me a lot of the old days, what we used to call the good old boys. And the good old boys,
And not the Dukes of Hazzard.
and we're not talking about the good, you're exact, Cathy, you
Unless
said
you're
it.
talking about Cooter. So, all right, but anyhow, to go further in Rule 16, Section C, any officer, delegate, or alternate who publicly endorses or financially supports a candidate for partisan office other than a duly nominated Republican candidate, unless there is no Republican nominee in the relevant race, shall immediately vacate their Republican Party office.
So let me clarify it. Let's stop right real quick.
Right.
Number one, he is an officer for Oakway. Is that correct?
Well, no, so that Rule 15 covers Mr.
But it
Smith.
also covers 16 does too.
16 covers the rest of the folks that were publicly endorsing him. Okay?
Okay.
So if you financially or publicly support a candidate for that partisan office other than a duly nominated Republican candidate, unless there is no Republican nominee, which
There
in this
is.
case it is
There
Mr.
is.
Sanderford.
Mr. Sanderford.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
So everybody that has showed up and use their joint checking accounts with their wives to make payments to his campaign.
So
Are in violation of Rule 16.
Also,
What about the ones that have put up signs?
well, okay.
Well, that's public support.
So if you have a candidate that won the Republican primary, and this candidate has 2 of their signs up in their front yard supporting the opposition.
Well, I'm not sure how that would affect the Meisner.
But according to that,
Well, he's not got a Republican office. He's not part of the party.
Yes,
he never was.
But he's the Republican nominee. He won the Republican primary.
Right. Well, and he's supporting.
But he's
somebody
supporting
off
else.
the
That's
ticket.
not. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I want to say this right here, because I want to finish reading C.
okay.
And this is where it gets interesting. Now, the State Executive Committee may waive this provision in any statewide or multi-county elections, and the County Executive Committee may waive this provision for their county and less than county elections. So, Thursday, when we go in there and we talk about this, they've got 2 things. They can do 2 things. They can say, yep, you guys lose your office. You got to go. Or, hey, we're not having these rules. These rules don't apply.
Okay.
Well, if those rules don't apply, then Jeffrey Bright can run as a write-in candidate against Mr. Mize. And with the Democrat support that he has here in Seneca, he will absolutely take the race. So it's up to them what they want to do. But it's clearly defined in the Republican rules, Rule 16 and 15.
But remember, they don't operate on rules.
So
They make them up as they go along.
But here's the thing: if it's good for the goose, it's
good for the gander.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So I hope that you don't get to run as a write-in candidate.
I mean, yeah.
But I would encourage you, if the opportunity is there. You've already got the signs. Where did you buy your signs?
TNR Graphics.
Oh wow, here locally, right?
Yeah, I bought locally.
Oh, not somewhere in Texas. Or
Yeah,
China
I
or
spent
whatever.
locally.
Texas? Who bought them in Texas?
Oh, if you go to the
Yeah.
ethics website, you can see.
You can see where he purchased them from.
He spent $1,500 out of state.
Well,
for those
Not
signs.
even making that. Not even spending that money here and locally.
No,
Yeah.
I spent
Oh, my
everything.
Lord have
Everything I bought, I spent locally.
Yeah.
With,
Oh, I
with,
know.
with TNR Graphics and a company in Fair Play, Diamond T. I bought everything local because I wanted to put back money into the local economy.
Exactly.
But could you imagine now? This guy goes to the state house, and he starts encouraging everybody to buy things from outside of the state instead of inside the state. I mean, Governor McMaster and everybody down in Columbia has done such a good job keeping our budget balanced, buying stuff made here in the Palmetto State, certified South Carolina stuff. And then this guy's running, and he's going to go to someplace in Texas.
I urge you to go check it out, his filing anyway, because I'm telling you,
Well, other than it being almost blank,
it's all over the road.
and you know, some names like James and Nix and Mize are on there for sponsoring them.
But if this guy did make the state house and somebody had a suggestion, would he tell them to shut their pie holes?
Yeah.
Would he? Would he do like I think?
See this face? Come on it.
Well,
Oh! Don't say that.
I have breaking news. According to that candidate, he says, I'm not resigning. I can't figure it out why they assume that. This whole thing that Jim Mann is doing is pure communist, I tell you. This is something that would happen in a communist country. Are we going to allow it?
I'd hope we'd allow.
Well, it's not
Law and order
It's
in our
not
party.
pure communist. It's pure communism.
But I want to say something else. This is also the candidate that flips people the bird on Facebook.
No, he doesn't. Does he really?
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. I'm a
There it
Democrat.
is.
I don't know what to say now.
Right there. You folks, you're watching
No.
it. He flips people birds on his Facebook page. But then, wait a minute, then he tells Luis Gonzalez to sue Jeff Bright.
Will you quit talking like that? I can't even take it anymore.
Is it getting hot over here? You're not going to take your clothes off, are you?
Where did you get that pair of panties?
All right,
you're
well, then
waving
if I'm
around?
not going to do that, then
Oh, we
I'm
got
going to go ahead.
Clutch your
Oh,
pearls.
well, I'm going to clutch my pearls. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You can talk about them now if you want. I have what I need.
You can talk about it, but don't do it.
So let's talk about that propaganda that came out there a couple days ago about somebody writing on a sign,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it. And then we got this Sharpie thing here that shows up. It looks like Scooby-Doo does.
Was that at the? I bet that was at the crime scene.
Well, I wonder if that was the same person that called him up and left him a threatening message.
I don't know.
Oh, did it? Somebody did? Oh,
Do you remember- that was a couple of months ago.
I
It
forgot
was-
about that.
It was a Yankee.
Why does he want us to continually say people come on my face?
I don't know why he would say that. But anyway, I just want to, for the record, I want to let folks know that if we were going to do something, if Randy Bond, the left-wing propagandist, was
Amateur radio talk show host.
Yeah, whatever that was, Quandale.
Yeah.
If I was going to do it, it'd be much more professional. And I would like to show this. This is here what I would do.
Let me take it up
Right
here and let everybody see it.
Right.
There it is
You see
up
it?
there.
That is what would be on the Perry Smith signs around my neighborhood. And they fit really well. And if somehow you ended up with one in your yard,
Yeah.
and you'd like to have one of these to put on it, they're $6. All right, just reach out to me on Facebook, $6, and we'll
Are
get
they
them.
putting
we'll
up signs without permission?
Well, yeah, I
Is
think
that
they
what's
have
is
been.
that what's happening?
Yeah,
There's been a few.
but you know,
But DOT's cutting them down. So
Right.
as fast as they go up in the right of ways, DOT
So-
is taking the bush hog and cutting them down.
so we wouldn't use a Sharpie.
No,
I mean-
no, not one this big.
But-
I mean, but if you're going to sign a sign, I mean,
That's a hell of a Sharpie to do it with.
you know what? There you go. Hey, you man, yeah, man.
Right. And I'm sure, but I just want to let people know, $6, okay? $6 right here. You can put them in your own yard on top of his sign.
That is
all right.
That's really nice.
Okay. Oh, it is. It's very nice. And it was handmade here in Oconee County. And then on the back, right here on the back, it's got a little disclaimer. Right here it says, "It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard, Perry." Okay. So.
And if you're going to make your money in Oconee, spend it in Oconee.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of spending money in Oconee, in the general's email came out today, he talked about how taxes are going to go up in the county, and we had Mr.
We had Julian Davis on last
the other
week.
day
Yeah.
talking about how that was going to work. He gave the real story. I mean,
Yeah.
if your house was worth more than it was 10 years ago, well, taxes going to be more.
That's true.
And they've done what they can to cut the millage down 8.11 to something like 2.2179. I guess it says here in the paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the councilman is disappointed in this thing. Is
Oh,
none other
than Glenn Hart.
Than Glenn Hart. Yeah, and here, you know, the only reason he's probably disappointed again, and I'm going to say Christy Hubbard's name one more time.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
Probably because she called him out, and he wants to have something to say bad about her. I haven't read any more than the front page, but anytime Glenn Hart talks, you can always see that Christy Hubbard's name is within the first two paragraphs of it. He's got a personal vendetta against her. Randy Bond, Jeff Bright does not. We actually like her a whole
We do.
lot.
Well, it's her and Amanda Brock.
I've
So-
never,
Yeah, I agree.
I've never
yeah,
heard anything
it is.
bad about
It is.
that Christy
It is.
Hubbard.
Is,
Never.
is it them personally, or is it just because they're women?
Well,
Well, now that's an interesting. You bring
You
a thing.
think misogynistic any of these guys? Oh, Lord hell.
Wow.
Is it just because it's
I don't
women
know.
having something to say? Or
Well,
Just
you don't know.
asking.
Wait a minute.
just ask.
Didn't McMahon push a woman aside when he
get out of the way.
attacked-
Be a man. I'll take care of him.
You know, and I thought I
Is that what
forgot
it
that.
said?
Oh God, that was so traumatic. I can't believe that.
When was this?
Oh, that was back at right after.
Right on Ebenezer.
Was this the get together that the candidates had up at Ebenezer Community Club?
Yes. Were you invited to
No,
that?
I never was invited to any damn thing.
Right, yeah.
They wanted to take it to the road up to a certain place that I won't mention the name, but it's on Stamp Creek Road.
Oh, wait. Hey, you know what? That guy, he had said that he was going to back out for the politics thing. And
Yeah.
If we had stopped talking about logging in Stamp Creek.
Yeah.
And then he calls a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. He's not out of politics.
No.
So fire up them damn logging machines.
What?
Get it done.
What can we do to get the Republican Party back?
Right. Well,
That's what
I'll
he
tell you
said.
what. The only way to get the Republican Party back is to get rid of the OCC. We can't have that in 2022 in the Golden Corner.
Why
Well,
is it?
how many people are in the OCRP?
In the OCRP?
Yes,
I don't know. Because when McMahon came in, he didn't
just
start
ballpark.
collecting
Just
dues.
ballpark.
If you took the men's group and the women's group as a good measure of people that would really like to be, there's probably 300.
300 versus what? 4 or 5?
No.
So
40,
in
if
the,
that.
40
you think there's
OCC?
40 in the OCC?
35, 40.
Yeah.
versus 300.
Now the question is though, are we saying the OCRP are all OCC? Because I'm not. I'm saying there's 45, maybe 15 of those would be hardcore OCC. Does that sound about right?
The OCC website,
I-
that's what 2,500 followers.
Well, there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
we've had 7,000 people start liking our Facebook page. So.
Well, we're touching close to 8,000 right now.
But here's the thing. I'm going to say this just like Trump did about Charlottesville. There's some good people on both sides of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he got lambasted for saying that. But he's probably right. There's people that got caught up in the propaganda, just like when I went to January 6th. I was all about it until they started knocking stuff over.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stand back here and not do that because, you know, that...
Is that what you signed up for?
No, it's not at all what I signed up for.
There's a line that was crossed.
I love my country.
I do too.
Right? And I loved President Trump. I really did. But now that he's gone full Q, I don't know if we can trust that.
It's getting
And
to
we
a big
can't-
point. I don't even
and-
know anymore who you can or cannot trust.
But we certainly can't take the pea pecker or pea rambler or whatever he was and the whistle sucker, those guys, and listen to the stuff that they got going on.
Well, if you want to be a
because-
Democrat,
Well,
you
you
know,
know,
what, that's-
if you read the 14th or 15th paragraph of
Or you could just not hitch
the
your wagon to anybody.
the P rambles,
And
they
then
talk about
don't have to
Jose.
worry about it.
They talk about Jose Cabrera and then P rambles again, and they
the P Rambler.
yeah.
Oh,
You know,
I bet-
I bet he types that with one finger. Peck, peck, peck.
in his
He even
1960s,
put my name in it. I don't even know the guy.
1960s
So-
Smith Chroma typewriter. Click,
Right.
click.
Well, did you know my first ex-wife's grandmother was the Virginia State typing champion on one of them things?
Really?
But she had knuckles as big as your knees.
And she was a good typist.
Yeah, she was great. But I mean, her fingers was that big around, right?
As big as that Super Sharpie.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
By the way, didn't Jasper post something today?
I'm not sure.
I got it
but-
up.
but
I mean, I got it here.
I wanted to say this though about
Yeah.
the P Ramble. It said in there that Adams was introduced to Jose Cabrera as a oil tycoon or engineer or something like that was running from Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Yeah, but if you look at the paper, it says that the journal, right? This is like the only legitimate news source besides us, and we only thing we report on is what they report on. So thank you, Riley. We appreciate you. It says in there that Jose's from Bolivia.
Right.
Now,
They said that for several months.
right, and I on my phone here, there's a little gadget, this little thing here.
Isn't there
I
a
went
big
in there-
difference between Bolivia and
Right.
Venezuela?
Well, so I wanted to travel by car.
I mean, it's like Neary and Utica.
No, it's not. It's not like that at all.
Oh, it's not. It's different.
No, so
From here to San Francisco.
No. Listen, I did the
Sweet.
Google Maps. I did the Google Maps on it. 3 days and 15 hours from the capital of Bolivia to the capital of Venezuela. It only takes a day and 4 hours to get to San Francisco from here.
Well, yeah, but if you drive straight through, but it depends.
But that's 3 days of driving in South America through Colombia and Peru and all these other places down there that are full of violent activities and drugs and all that stuff.
So
and,
he was an oil tycoon,
or engineer or
an
something. I don't know.
engineer.
With something.
They just well now that we got to get the definition of engineer.
But here's the thing, right?
Yeah, we do.
Is an engineer a blue collar guy, or is an engineer a white collar guy? I would think that an engineer is a white collar guy,
or a yellow vest.
and a
guy.
mechanic would
But
be
wait a
blue
minute.
collar guy.
But a sanitation engineer would be a blue collar.
Well, poop is poop.
No, sanitation engineer is a trash man.
Well,
Well, what color's the vest?
Sandwich engineer.
Yellow.
For sanitation?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
But
Yeah.
what is the definition of is?
Well, I don't know.
What's the definition of ain't?
Right. But anyway, the biggest this thing's got some feedback going on or something.
It's just you.
What's that?
It's just you. Your
Oh.
head's
Okay.
too big.
So where was I? This thing was going nuts.
We were talking about the rambling
We need a
rambler.
sound engineer is what we need. All right, so yeah, but why do they keep bringing up Jose? Like is he their Jesus? They just don't want to tell nobody.
Well,
I
wait a
thought that
minute.
Matt Durham was their
Now,
Jesus.
wait a minute. We know he's an Hispanic American. We know that the one, what is he, the secretary of the OCRP said that they did not want foreign traditions.
Right, yeah,
That
no,
was
I
right
knew
in his
that at
letter.
all.
So there you go. I hate to break the news to everybody, but you know what? In this country, we're all the same. We're a diverse nation, and that's what makes us strong. But let me say one thing about this Rambler guy. I don't even know who the guy is. He's got in there, supposedly I was like a dirty trickster for the people in the gated communities on the lake. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. I'm a proud Democrat. I was a Republican. I quit in 16. So please, Mr. Rambler, man, get it right. I'm a Democrat, and what I say is my own. Nobody tells me what to say. Thank you.
All right. So,
Spoken like a true person.
Thank you.
so what was you going to read there? That
Oh,
Perry had put online?
actually, no. This was Casper, or Jasper, our friendly.
Oh!
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he a ghost? Or...
Did he write a good letter?
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Y'all pay attention to this one.
Okay.
Well, folks, a good dose of Oconee politics evidenced in black and white. The vice chair of the Oconee County Republican Party is making a full-on power play to kick conservatives out of the county Republican Party. This is the latest attempt to remove the sitting chairman. Remember this when you see claims that conservatives like Perry Smith are bullies around here. Evidently, politics in this county has assumed prison rules, which are moderates and Democrats claiming to be Republicans to make their own rules, and you're not supposed to resist or fight back. Oh, yeah. And Vice Chairman Jim Mann made this meeting closed to the public. We'll see if it stays that way. Now, remember when we started with the show, we talked about listen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listen to this. And then you tell me, I want everybody's opinion. By the way, all those assumed resignations are conservatives who stay active, giving conservatives a voice. They haven't not resigned from anything.
Are we talking about grammar?
Oh, we're talking about everything.
Is that what you want the opinion on?
We're talking about everything.
But wasn't that post exactly like another post that we heard from somebody else?
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Um, So
Cathy, she's smart.
Oh.
who was that?
I don't know. I can't wait.
There were several other posts, but that one was the one that Lewis took and posted.
Who did?
Jasper.
Luis Gonzalez?
No.
We ain't heard from that guy in a while. Hey, Luis, you out there?
Hey, Lewis.
Washmore, where
Hey,
you at?
Padre. I heard you was going to sue me.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I saw that there Perry had posted that thing too. How Luis Gonzalez was gonna sue you because you deleted his comment that Perry put up there.
Yeah, even if you
because it's
could run,
trash.
would you even want to with
But-
all the garbage you had to put up
but
with?
the thing about
I mean,
it, though-
seriously.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. If Matt Durham can erase comments from his own legitimate county council page that he's supposed to be suspended from anyway.
That's right. And still put out his newsletter.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't you delete those comments?
Well, first
and
of
why
all,
why is Perry deleting Josh McCall's comments or Jeff McCall? They look just alike.
and he's not the only one. There's others that are claiming now that they've made comments are being booted.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
But it's okay for them.
Yeah.
Look, the difference is if I am an elected official, then I can't. That's the law. You can't.
But once you become suspended, you can't do it.
You can do anything you want to, apparently.
Okay, yeah.
Or if you're running for office, you can do anything you want to.
Right.
I mean, I checked it. But first of all, you're not going to get on my page and blast people.
Right.
It's just kind of like this decorum thing in Walhalla. And I
That's
hope
right.
we're going to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Good.
Wow, ain't that something?
This decorum thing, and it blowed my mind to find out that the city of Walhalla they didn't have the Robert Rules of Order. It was only one person making the decisions. At least when you go to a county council meeting, there's order, and where you may not like what they say, at least it's orderly.
Man, how is Julian going to be chairman coming up? That's going to be terrible.
What chairman?
For him, for the county council.
We're not going to have a chairman.
Well, I think that he'll be the chairman, but man alive, could you imagine?
You want to play some bets?
Well, I don't know.
At this point, anything.
I got to say 16. I bet you 16-1 that Glenn Hart becomes the chairman of the county party.
Chairman?
Here
Of the
why
county
would
council.
anybody want to
Whoa.
at this point with
Oh, my
all of the
God.
stuff that goes on? I'm surprised that
16
we
to
can
1.
get
That's the
anybody
odds I'll
to
give
do
you on that.
anything with what goes on. It is
But the county
surprising that
council-
anybody would want to do it.
But see, I put those odds on there, 16-1, that Glenn Hart is the upcoming chairman
of the
council.
Oconee County Council.
Yeah. If we're going to wreck this ship,
And we're going to sink it.
if we're going to hit the dam at 60 miles
Mile an hour, we might as well go ahead
Might as well
and
just
but
drive it on
drive it
over.
on over. Don't land it up on the rock. Drive it completely over and
Yeah.
jump into Hartwell on the other side.
right. That's like our friend Lawyer Lori down there said, welcome to another edition of South Carolina's a shit show.
Well, it is.
But it's the people that cause that. It's
Mm-hmm.
not,
Can we go ahead and mention two things real quickly we need to talk about here midway through the show? One is coming up this morning. Our friends over here at the Sunday Masonic Lodge, they're having a hot dog sale today. You can get your tickets at the door. And by the way, for the folks that grew up around here, Blake Smith's nephew, Chris, is actually doing the hot dogs. Blake Smith, Walnut Street Grocery was a fixture, and of course it was destroyed after the tornado. They're doing that this morning starting, I think, at 11 o'clock. And then we have another event that's coming up.
same time.
That's going to be over here for the Sip and Stroll.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on tomorrow. That's why I decided to take tomorrow off. I'm not even doing a show this morning. No radio show for me. I'm taking it off. But they're going to have a Sip and Stroll here in Seneca this morning.
And the OCRW, the women's group, they reached out to me by like 3 of them did. So it must be important to them that tomorrow they're going to be recruiting women that want to come out and learn about politics and want to be part of the show, part of what's going on, making Oconee better. Making Oconee better. That come out to the Sip and Stroll and sip some wine, stroll, talk, look at some art. They said it'd be a good time.
It is.
Where's it going to
Also,
be?
it's
Downtown
right
here,
by
Ramcat Alley.
Ramcat Alley.
They do Ramcat Alley and Townville Street over here, Papa Julio's, and all the way down.
And then there's also tomorrow, the 24th, up at Kiwi Key, the
The meet and greet.
nonpartisan meet and greet for all of the school board.
Is it all or
Well,
just
the ones for
District
1?
District
Yeah, you
1?
get up it's only going to be an hour, I think.
Yep.
Come in, meet them, ask them questions, and get on out of the gated community.
And of course, you have 3 candidates running for that seat: Dean Baer, Amanda Holder, and Carrie Unsworth. Also, too, in Walhalla, which is happening, it's the Hispanic Heritage Festival, which is
man.
coming for
We
today.
love you, Jose.
There you
we
go.
love you. This is great. Look at all these foreign traditions that they got going on. Food, crafts, and vendors, mariachi band, kickoff ribbon cutting for mayor's welcome, bilingual story time, more mariachi bands, more story time, salsa dancing. Is that salsa dancing? Is that where you get into tomato juice?
Yeah.
You know. Then they've got a
Yeah.
Then
Go
there-
ahead and bring your tomato juice tomorrow.
then they've got a kids pinata. Now is that where they're hanging kids and hitting them with the Sharpie, or do the kids get to use the Sharpie to open up a pinata?
You
Then more
definitely need to show
mariachi.
up and volunteer.
Then they've got mariachi band, and then they've got folks dancing. Oh, folk! I've got a doctor's appointment to get my eyes checked on October 5th at Asheville Eye Associates in Franklin. The VA's really good to me. They're going to do that for me. Boy, and it'll be good for all you guys out there.
It'd be
listening.
good for it,
Really.
too. Yeah.
But then they got I'm not even sure what that says. Can you spent some time in Mexico?
Yeah, but I don't
That very last one.
the last one
Yeah.
was good. That's somebody singing.
Who?
Well,
He said it's somebody singing.
I was hard.
I mean,
Look at my
Zaka
glasses.
and Nortina. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it's going to be a good time.
There you go. He's got his glasses
There you
on
go.
now. Now
All right.
maybe you can see.
Oh, Musica Nortina. I don't know what Nortina means. Music of something.
Okay.
Well,
there's
anyway,
gonna be
there
lots of music. There's lots of salsa.
I had 6 tutors.
and
I
dirty
just wasn't
feet.
very good.
So
Did you just say dirty feet?
yeah, that's dirty dancing. Are you dancing in that tomato juice?
Well, maybe Perry will go up there and do some campaigning tomorrow.
He don't put baby in the corner. All right, but
You think he'd
also-
want to borrow this?
But also,
what was left on our
look,
doorstep?
as soon as you guys get done listening to us on the radio, go to one of these events out at South Cove Park, and there's going to be the National Hunting and Fishing Day for the kids. Bring them kids out, let them experience some of the stuff that out there. There's going to be the Trouts Unlimited are going to be there. The Beekeepers Association is going to be there. I'll be there.
B-Boy's going to be there.
There's going to be axe throwing, knife sharpening. There's going to be archery, fishing lessons, all kinds of stuff. It was a great time last year. Bring your kids out to that. Then on October 2nd, there's something about a grand old picnic party at South Cove.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that some of the Republican propagandists are going to be getting together. This is Terry Myron and Jim Mann. This is not an OCC event, but they're probably welcome if they can afford it. Barbecued chicken, roasted sweet potatoes, and corn.
Are they going to be white
Live music.
tablecloth?
They're going to have live music and a pie contest.
Uh-huh.
That's probably that face cream thing that Perry keeps talking about.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway,
Coming at your face?
yeah, I'm not sure. That was a weird post. But anyways, the cost is $15 to get in, and I think it'll be a really good time to come out and support the party.
Well, it's a beautiful time, and of course, with the temperature, like on Thursday, it was 93 degrees.
Right.
And then we woke up Friday, and it was like 53 degrees, and now we wake up this morning, and it's just heaven on earth right here.
And then tonight at the Performing Arts Center, John Conley's going to be up there. I wonder if he's going to sing that song, Middle Aged.
That was John. That was
Jerry Lee.
That
Lewis,
was Jerry
right?
Lee Lewis.
What was
Yeah.
that song?
Middle-aged man.
Yeah, Middle Aged Man.
Yeah.
I think when we go to break, we should play that.
Well, I'm just letting us run on. It's 36 minutes into the show, and
wow.
why stop a good show?
Well, I guess that's true. But
And then one more event coming up October the 8th. We will be involved with the Bike-tober Bash
all right.
for the Redeemed Sons up in West Union. They're going to have bike tricks and all sorts of good things. This is a Christian group. They do a great job, and they are working hard for collecting toys for tots. They showed up in Salem last week. We did the car show up there. Over 243 toys were brought and collected, and we're going to be a part of the fun. October the 8th, 10 a.m., live there at West Union. It'll be right beside Edwards Auto Sales, right across of McDonald's. There's a parking lot right there in the building where the old it's the old Bobby Wood Chevrolet up in
Right.
West Union. So we're going to be there. Well, guys and gals, we are going to move on in the show. I mentioned earlier about this thing called the decorum in Walhalla City Council. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's good.
Freedom of speech. I think that you should be able to show your ass anyhow you want to, anywhere you want to, and just be absolutely ridiculous, just like the OCC wants for themselves. But they'll call you down just as soon
Yep.
as you try to stop them.
Yep.
They won't let you speak. They won't let any opposition come in because that's freedom of speech in the
Now,
eyes of
wait.
the-
So this. Wait a minute. Are you saying that's what they're saying, or are you saying that's your opinion?
No, I'm not saying that. That's what that fella said in the paper.
right.
It's on the council up there. He said, "Why do I need Robert's
Oh,
Rules of Order? You listen to me."
You talking about Grant?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
wasn't it? What was the vote? Like
The
6-1
other
or something?
part of what it said in the paper was too that they were having trouble. That they were having trouble because people were going up to City Hall, and the ladies working in the City Hall were getting,
They were getting blasted.
they were getting
Hey,
blasted by people.
But remember when Seneca wanted to have some diversity training and talk about how our city employees should talk to customers and vice versa.
Yeah, it's a waste of money, remember?
It was a waste of money. Yeah, I remember a lot of those OCC candidates hit the old like button there on Facebook about
One
that.
of them, according to Willie, was Don Mize.
Yeah.
Which shocks me considering he has a diverse community. But
Well, I mean, does he?
I
really,
wouldn't have voted
Does
for
he
him.
really have a diverse community? Does he get out in the community and see things? I
that
mean,
didn't sound like it.
I'm glad you just brought up something. How many of these people, and this can be proven, these are facts, prior to, let's say, Donald Trump being elected, how many of these people were actively involved in politics?
I don't think as many as. Well, let me put it this way: it's a lot louder now,
But no,
and
how
much
many,
more caustic.
how many were actually involved? When I say involved, they were out on the trenches. For example, during the tornado, I never saw Perry Smith, and I never saw Don Mize during the tornado, and I never saw David McMahon.
I gotta stop you there. Perry's brother Trent stopped everything he was doing,
There's a difference.
and he came down
He
here.
did.
And he did a whole lot of stuff.
Yes, he
for,
did.
for the city of Seneca.
Yes, he
and,
did.
And I'm going to tell you right now, that guy,
Nice guy.
I've got nothing but respect for him.
Nice guy.
But I don't know how two brothers could be so different. But some of the Smith family, it's just like they said. There's good on both sides of everything. I mean, Trent did a lot for
Well,
Seneca.
wait, let me ask a question. This guy won the primary. He'd already won the primary. Why in the hell would he, according to Willie, like something that had to do with not supporting some diversity sensitivity so people could work closer together?
Tiger, you know what? Leopards can't hide their spots.
No. That's horrible. I mean, think about that. How would you feel if you were a diverse citizen and this dude who was elected likes that?
Well, especially considering that
What
you
message?
come from just, and I don't know him, but according to his bio and everything, he worked how many years at Duke Power? Duke Power is extremely diverse and has tons of diversity training.
Years ago,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It sounds to
Come
me, though,
on.
like a lot of times they're not listening very well because there are several people that work there that don't like foreign traditions. But let me ask you a question. One last question. These people that are diverse in the community, do they pay taxes?
Yep.
Hell yes, they pay taxes.
Everybody, yep.
Okay. So if you pay taxes, we're all equal in this. So why? So my perception is when somebody does that, it's like immediately I go to, well, he's choosing who he wishes. Thank you very much. We get this in San Francisco.
Hey, did you see how I went ahead and served that? I didn't ask Cathy to do it because I'm not a misogynistic.
Because you're not
prick.
misogynistic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Wish you guys could
Please,
join
thank
us.
you.
I tell you what, guys.
Before we're
I thought we would do this during a break, but since
We're gonna do it now.
Yeah, and this is day 6
Of the Civil War.
My bayonet's starting to rust. I haven't seen the enemy. They called this thing, and then where they at? But here we are. We're going to go ahead and we're having our black-eyed peas with a little Yankee spin on them. They actually have flavor.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Rainy.
really good.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Oh, Rainy.
Did you taste that?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's just got the perfect kick to it.
We need this in the Civil War.
Well,
Well,
when they burn everything and leave it behind, we are survivors.
I hope it don't burn the Utica Mill Village down.
Yeah. There was some email went around talking about a conspiracy about McMahon said people were talking about how he was trying to buy property from the county. I mean, I don't give a shit what he buys. But I don't know.
Did you say buy property for the county?
from the county?
He bought property for the county.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what all that was about, but
Bought compound number 1 over at Utica.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's hot.
Is it?
Put a lot of hot sauce in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's my Hispanic heritage.
I mean, I like hot sauce, but
Yeah, it does have some heat.
So this decorum thing back in Walhalla, you think it's a good idea?
I do. And I'll tell you why. Because you, just like county council, these guys are up there making nothing, trying to put something in the community. The message you deliver when you're screaming and yelling, hell, nobody can even hear it. If you want to have input, then just be respectful, just like you would on the street to somebody. If you get to the point where you're screaming and yelling, you're just being abusive and trying to abuse somebody and degrade them.
So my question is, does that go for the county council person or the city council
Both.
person? Both?
Both.
Well, then one person that was on county council a few years ago would have gotten thrown out and arrested.
Who's that?
Oh, that's the one that has those trees.
Oh, I remember him. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
I was at a council meeting one time, and I was listening to this guy talk, and he was talking about safety on the lake, and I thought, well, maybe this guy's not that bad. And then he says, and that goes double for people who live on the lake who think they own it.
Well, there we go. Yep.
And
I've heard that before.
And I thought to myself, what a jerk. Next meeting I came back, and I got up and I said, and I addressed it, and I said, nobody gave me anything. I worked for it. And you doing this is wrong. Well, he apologized and everything. Well, a month later,
Right back
to
where
same
it was.
crap.
I tell you what, talk about getting up in a meeting and talking. John Morey got up at the
Yes,
school
he
board
did.
meeting and gave old Dr. Thorsland what for.
I could have hugged his neck.
I tell you what,
I don't know him, so I wasn't going to embarrass him or anything, but I could have hugged his neck. Yeah, really.
but he got up like he was some old Western John Wayne cowboy with his hands on his guns, and he said, "I'll tell you what, it's your fault." I'm paraphrasing here, but
Oh, okay.
he said it's your fault, and it's going to happen again, and it's going to be worse. Talking about the Quandale Dingle song.
Yeah.
He said, and what he was trying to articulate, and I think he did a wonderful job, was that some kid's going to hear that song, and they're going to take it that one step further that it needs to go,
Yes.
and somebody's going to die. And whoever made the decision not to expel these kids, whether it was, the student services coordinator or the principal or whoever, they're not going to be able to sleep anymore at all. Is that when you know that you got those kids killed? That's going to be terrible.
I don't think it's so much that I don't get what the thing is with that. Why they're like all behind the privacy and everything. Nobody's asking you to give us names or anything like that. We're asking you to give us a clear path of which rules you followed. Black out the names. Say student A, student B. Just show us the rules you followed and say, hey, this is the guidelines we followed. These are the steps we took. Give people some peace of mind because they just refuse to do that.
Yeah, but
It's kind of hard to do that when you're making up the rules as you go along.
Chicago.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's hard enough when you're going and doing things. Every situation, instead of having a set standard of trying to treat things across the board, it depends on who you are, who you know, what you did.
Preach.
But you know what was the craziest thing about that meeting, that school board meeting, was how many people said parents reached out to them, but the parents themselves were afraid.
They are afraid.
Teachers are afraid to do
The
anything.
retribution.
teachers are terrified.
Yes.
So, what kind of toxic work environment
Exactly.
is this in the
You have
county?
no idea, Rannie.
And-
It's terrible.
And why is the school board allowing that?
Because they don't care. They're
What
not
I
involved
saw-
or they're not vested. You've got three council. Let's back up here. You have two board members. One has been in education for 50 plus years that really doesn't understand how schools work this day and age.
50 years ago, everybody had their own chalkboard.
50 years ago, you could have a shotgun in the back of your car because you're going to go hunting at
20 years
3:30.
ago, you could have done
Yeah.
that.
Okay. You have another board member that I'm really not sure why she's on the board. I really don't know. She's got 40 years and she's never stepped foot in a classroom. Okay. I really hope that Megan understands. I think she does. But in Seneca's aspect of District 3 right now, I'm disappointed in our representative because she does nothing.
What I saw was a bunch of 1,000-yard, cow-eyed stares that just looked off.
They just looked off into
They-
space.
there was not even any empathy for the parents. The parents elected these trustees to be their representatives to the school system.
But people, they don't
And
care.
These people that are
They
on
do
this
not
current
care.
school board,
They don't care.
They
save
do not
Dr.
care.
Ketterman.
That
They don't
is the
care.
bottom.
There's
Bottom
no way
line.
you could convince me that they give a rip about what parents think.
They don't.
They do not care.
Okay, do you? I want to ask one question. The lyrics were posted.
Yep.
There were direct threats to shoot
Yep.
somebody. I mean, I looked at that and I just couldn't believe it. And then these kids got a couple days off. Why?
And listen.
I don't understand. If you even look at what the school policies are, that's expulsion and the police.
Right, yeah.
Not to mention, how could you let somebody that's threatened to shoot all these people on school grounds without having them properly evaluated?
If you have
by
a
professionals?
conflict of interest, like the sheriff does,
Well, that's just stupid. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. I'm not an educator.
There's so many layers to it.
You bring up something too. You just said it. Conflict of interest. Because had there not been a conflict of interest, the sheriff's department would have handled it. So why? Okay. So then you ask yourself the question: what is the conflict of interest?
What
Because
is it?
then
Do we
you
even
send
know?
it. Well,
There's a lot of speculation.
There's a lot.
but it's not worth mentioning.
It's not worth mentioning. But if there is a direct, which the sheriff has said that it was a conflict of interest, okay, and he handed it off to SLED. We have a little bit of the puzzle right there. So we know that there's somebody. There's a huge conflict. What is that conflict of interest?
It's probably somebody's overinflated sense of self-worth.
Or is it somebody that may have been involved at one time? Things that make you go, But this is the same school board, folks. And Cathy, you may agree with this. We are building a brand new Seneca Middle School, okay? 50-something, whatever million. We have a high school right now that has just crossed over to the 30-year mark. Well, first of all, we have just wasted taxpayers' money. What we should have done is built a new high school and then gave the current school to the middle school.
Isn't that what every other school
every
district
other
in the
school
world
district
does?
that. Not Oconee. We don't do that. We just build the school whenever the ones are falling in. Like,
But that's what happens when people on the school board don't say something.
Let me ask you one question. So, when these guys were singing the song and they were talking about, they were threatening to shoot people. Okay, so think about this.
Particular people.
Exactly.
yeah.
Though, take that situation and put it into a workplace. Can you imagine what would happen? Number one, they would be escorted off premises immediately.
They would have
and
been
they
arrested.
Had the cops on them, and they would have been fired.
They would have been arrested.
But in the school, it's like, slap. I mean, I don't, thank God my kids are out. But if I was a parent of children in that school, I would be very scared about it, about having my children in that environment.
What's that?
That is the UPS over here smoking. Because
hot show.
it's a hot show because we're telling the truth.
Right. So
It'll go away. Just
but
keep
yeah,
going.
this is a hugely toxic work environment that our teachers are having to suffer through. And our kids are having to suffer through.
Just and looking at the lyrics, once you had the actual lyrics written down, you've got sexual harassment. If you were to have said that in a workplace, you've got
Couldn't
sexual
imagine
harassment.
having somebody say that about my wife or daughter or what. I mean, that's
you've
crazy.
got them
What are
talking,
special
you've
needs
got-
kids?
You've got them
well-
talking about special needs kids. You got them talking about a teacher's infertility, for crying out loud. I mean, how many boxes and
Those kids
things
have
did
some
they
real
tick?
problems.
But Cathy, I applaud you for getting up and speaking at the school
Oh, that
board
was-
meeting.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for that.
I was incredibly upset and emotional because
Well-
I couldn't even. I mean, and it hits home because they just
Here we
don't
go.
care.
Can we do a shout out for Cathy there?
Yes, give a shout out.
Well, you had it backwards.
And
right.
that is for Cathy.
That's for Cathy and John Morey for what
You
they
know
did.
what? This crank is loose now. I mean, all right. So go ahead.
Yeah, I bet your crank is loose. All right. Anyway, but Jim, man, he really put it on
He did.
the table too. He asked them, "Have you actually heard the song? Have you seen the lyrics? Can I read them to you now?"
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Thorson said, "No, it's so vile." Well, why is it appropriate for 8th grade but not appropriate for the board meeting?
They were being creative. Did I not?
Boys being boys.
Boys being boys. That's what it was. It was boys being boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not boys being boys.
Not
It's
at
boys
all.
in the hood.
That is a certified hood classic.
Well, what
The
what,
rotten apple doesn't fall far.
I know.
From,
and what makes you
the rotten
what makes
tree.
you think too that he feels comfortable with it makes you feel like he knows them, that he somehow is comfortable because he either knows them or knows their parents,
Well,
so he feels like they're safe. And that to me says that maybe they should have had a conflict of interest and somebody else should have handled
Absolutely.
it.
They
What I
have
saw-
people's names, real people's names.
But what
for
I
God's
saw-
sake.
Real people. And if you look on the website of the middle school, there are several of the names mentioned there that are no longer teaching. And you got to say, well, can you blame them? That
would've
they're not
left.
there this year?
Absolutely.
Why can't
Would you come back?
But you know,
why can't the school district answer why 25-something teachers left in the Seneca area?
or why are they going to El Paso to recruit teachers?
Or why they going to Atlanta to recruit teachers? Because guess what? They can't recruit here because nobody wants to come here and work in Oconee County.
But look, what I did see though at that school board meeting was when Dr. Ketterman started really questioning Dr. Thorsland, he was skipping beats, and he was being very careful. Because I think there is more to this and the pressure needs to stay on till it comes out, and somebody's going to let the cat out of the bag, and somebody's going to lose their job, and I don't think that Dr. Thorsland wants that to happen.
My thing is if they didn't tell us about this, what else has gone on that they haven't told us about?
Well,
What else is going on in school that we don't know about? And that is what keeps me up at night.
well, when you get the words that they're working on the issue about bullying and stuff, that's so far from the truth. Bullying's happening every day in our
Absolutely.
schools, so that's still going on. The teachers, we've said this numerous times on the show. The teachers are afraid to say anything, and I will say this: we have great teachers in the school district of Oconee County.
I want to put a positive spin on that for the teachers. I was over at the Heritage Park with my bees.
Over at the fair,
representing-
yeah,
Right, the Ag Days, right?
yeah.
And so I was over there for 2 days, and I saw 2,000 kids
Yep.
from kindergarten to 4th grade.
Well, we've got
And
amazing
those teachers that took the time
Yep.
to find parents to chaperone and bring those kids out so that they could touch and taste and feel and smell what agriculture is all about, that was absolutely great. There was one, everybody had T-shirts made for each individual class. This one teacher took the time. This lady's smart. I don't know her name, don't know a lot about her, but I met her for 5 minutes while I was talking about honeybees and giving away honey straws to these youngins. She took the opportunity to put the school's phone number on the shirts. So if a kid got missing, it was on the shirt. Call us.
Yeah.
Man, that's the kind of taking care of the children that the school board needs to be thinking about. Not clear plastic bags at a football game where you ain't even got a metal detector or security guards or anything like that. You got like one deputy sheriff out there directing traffic, but if those kids went down in there and started shooting it up, ain't nothing he do about it. And then next thing you know, it's like Uvalde where they all stand outside waiting.
I know. You're right.
You know what? When you look at this,
Everybody here that's in an elected leadership role that has failed our children and our teachers, from the sheriff to the solicitors to the school board to all of those people, it's happened here before. It'll happen here again, and you should be ashamed of yourself for not doing what's right.
I agree. All right. Anything else on the final 1 minute warning?
one thing I wanted to say is, so when you look at this, when you look at the school board, and you look at the teachers, I agree with you about the teachers. But just like in business or any place else, if you have people and they have leaders that they do not trust, that they have their best interests at heart, you've lost them. And that's what's happened here. Good teachers, and some of them are silenced. You've had threats against them. Well, I wouldn't trust these guys as far as I could see them. It's just like the OCRP. You get these leaders, and now they're bashing everybody else.
That's right. You're right.
You know, you lose them. You've lost the people.
Well,
You've
know,
lost
the
them.
OCC was out there real big when they didn't want a little black girl's name in the book, or we didn't want to talk about diversity in the schools. But when they're out there talking about killing teachers, the OCC is quiet.
Silent. They don't say a word.
Well, and you can't really say anything about our local law enforcement and stuff either, because they were booted out of this. They,
Right.
you know, they can't really
Just
say anything
remember,
about it either.
Crash, yeah.
$6.
I may just have to get that. Let me see it again, because I want to I may have to get that for just everyday purposes.
$6.
$6.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like that.
And then can you custom tailor it with people's names on
Right.
it?
Yeah. So it says Crash there because I'm the leader of the Rhinos.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Rhinos.
You are that left wing propagandist.
And if you look at my hat,
Yeah.
I have my ensemble from Chicago.
Yeah.
$22.50.
I got my Nunya
call me.
on.
Nunya.
Nunya.
It's
Folks,
a beautiful hat.
I love y'all. Y'all do a wonderful job each week.
Don't forget, folks, we got a lot going on
We do.
today. Get out there, support the
Do
community.
something fun.
Yeah, have a great day in Oconee. That's what we're supposed to do.
All right. Next week, Same time?
Yeah,
Same channel?
I like it.
Let's Talk OconeeSC.com. You'll find our show. If you miss it, share it with all your friends, and make sure that if you're going to share content, share it the truth, because the truth shall set you free. We'll see you next week, folks.
Douches!
Douches!
But the thrill is all gone when they cut down